Hey everybody, welcome to Lacey Place. As you can see by the thumbnail, I thought we could talk about the live bait vending machines. Wait for a few people to get in here and we shall start talking about it. Hey TJ's Exotics. Hey Connor's Paws and Claws. How are y'all doing? Hey Rounded Rob. Doing good? That's good. Hey Aquarium Thoughts. How you doing, Dave? Glad to see that YouTube is sending out notifications now. That's a first. Actually got several people in here at the same time. Yeah, I've been busy. Everybody's been busy. Since y'all are in here, what are y'all's thoughts on the live bait vending machines? I mean, me personally, I don't like it because we have a problem with species of fish that are in our lakes and rivers and streams that aren't supposed to be there that are causing harm. And all of the live bait vending machines that I've seen are selling the fish that are not supposed to be there. And you get a person, you hook the bait wrong and it gets off, and then you can start a whole mess of things. Just that simple, or just that quickly. I mean, I think it's very irresponsible. I, um, I buy goldfish from my local bait shop, and I mean, I just they eat bugs as they fall into the water, but that's what fish eat. They eat fish. That's the point, Dave. Yes, they are. They're very much so introducing invasive species. And I've actually seen Oscars in these vending machines, and we all know that's not very good. Okay, Rounded Rob, you'll have to look it up on Google, YouTube. A vending machine like you get drinks and chips and stuff out of. Well, they now have live bait vending machines where you can put $1, $2 in the vending machine and hit. They sell. I've seen arowana, I've seen Oscar, and I've seen goldfish, and a literally a bag of live fish will fall down, and you pull them out, and you get like one Oscar or 6 or 8 goldfish out of a vending machine. You're absolutely right, Connor. Worms do excellent. They sure do. Yes, Rounded Rob. The first time that I saw a video, I thought, oh my gosh, this is clickbait, right? I thought it was a clickbait video. So I clicked on it, and sure enough, they have vending machines that sell live fish, and they are a whole lot cheaper than what you can buy them for. Um, honestly, let me look it up real quick because I'm not exactly sure what state these are in. And let's see. What states are live bait vending machines in? Um, let's see. I got a list here. I'm not sure how to pull it up on screen for y'all, but I'm trying to see. Here's just a list. I know y'all can't really see it, but no, Rounded Rob, it's not cool at all. Let's see. It says Pennsylvania started 97, but that could be wrong. That's what I was trying to figure out, Connor's paws and claws. I mean, I paid a pretty penny for each one of my Oscars, and they are one of my most expensive fish aside from my iridescent shark. And I mean, they're like what, 16, 17 bucks a piece. But then you can go to this vending machine, this bait vending machine, and put a couple bucks in and get one. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I guess, Connor, the reason they are using these as baits for the Oscars is because they have hundreds of them at a time. And I mean, like for me, I have 5 Oscars. If they were to breed, I have no idea what I would do with the babies. I mean, I have absolutely no idea. I would, as sad as it is, I would probably feed them to my smaller wild caught fish. Or the only other option I would have would be to raise them up in my pond and eat them because Oscars are edible fish. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're going to eat your babies. Well, I mean, there's aquarium keepers keep fish in aquariums that other countries eat. But I'm trying to think. Let me go back on here and look because I can't think of the channel name right off. But there is I should know it too. When I see it, I know exactly. Okay, Barb's buzzing. They just posted 38 minutes ago buying live aquarium fish from a vending machine. Once again, you really can't see that well, but there it is right there. Barb's buzzing, live bait, vending machine. It very much so is. Hey baby, you supposed to be at work too. No, I wouldn't get that hungry enough to eat Oscars, but if we had 4,000 of them, what would we do? I would have to feed them to my wild caught fish. Hey, Mad Fish Diva, how are you doing today? Hey, Daniel, thanks for dropping in. Uh, well, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Fish keeping Jamaica. Riley is in Jamaica. Okay. He's in a whole nother country. People do things differently country to country. I mean, that's just the way it is. I make a joke that only Americans keep edible fish in an aquarium and call them pets, but they are very much so edible. And they do get eaten all over. I mean, like, for instance, my father's in the Philippines and he sent me a picture of a bunch of little bitty fish that looked like my cichlids. And then he sent me a picture of them fried. So, I mean, they eat whatever. We're both at work, Connor's paws and claws. Yes. we we are both at work, just kind of killing time, waiting on 5 to roll around. I'm caught up. That's I guess the small benefits being at a print shop for me. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, that's one of them. Barb's buzzing. Oh, you took see? He says the same thing. He takes mental health days. Mad Fish Diva. But let me see if I can find another one because there are several fish tubers out there that have actually put um made videos about these vending machines. And I mean, in a way, when I saw them after I bought all 5 of my cichlids, or my, should I say Oscars, they are cichlids. But after I bought all 5 of mine and then I saw this dude put $1 in a vending machine and an Oscar come out, I was thinking, "What the hell? $1?" And, I mean, they put $1 in there and got a couple goldfish. It might have been 2 bucks. Let's see, it's a fishing channel. I can't believe I can't think of their name right off. I'm sure y'all know it. I mean, it's a big time fishing channel, and they do all kind of weird things. You're mediating with the Michelob? I heard that, Rounded Rob. I got a cold drink with my name on it too when I get home. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, of course, it's not going to show up on my list either. But I mean, I thought maybe I would ask y'all and see what y'all thought about it because I don't exactly agree with it, but in a way, selfishly, I was like, where the hell was this whenever I was buying these fish? There you go, Mad Fish Diva. It was Joey Slam. It sure was. All right, Daniel. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Did you hear about the evening at somewhere where they dumped over 1,000 goldfish? Yes, I did. That was in Ohio. I was part of the group of people that called and complained about it. Not that it did any good. Hey, angry fish guy. I'm not sure what that says. Hey, Ro, please. But I did see that, and apparently that is a tradition that that town has been doing for 40 something years, and they were very disturbed that people called and complained about it. And the biggest complaint about it was that it was held in a swimming pool that is running almost all year long, and it's chlorinated. So what they did is the night before or 2 days before, they cut the chlorine off, and then the next day after they cut the chlorine off, which was the day before the actual fish swim, they dumped the goldfish in it. Now, chlorine does evaporate, but I doubt that it had time to evaporate that quick. And Haley and Rob 93 showed up to pass out flyers and to give information on beneficial bacteria and how to set up your tank. And the police actually taped off a section at the very back, just way past the parking lot where nobody was, and said that they were a threat for being there, that they couldn't cross that police line. And also, somebody else drove for several hours. A pet store of some sort drove for several hours just to try to educate people on the beneficial bacteria, the nitrogen cycle, and things like that. So, I mean, yeah, Connor's paws and claws. The chlorine was very much so still there. And honestly, I doubt they even turned it off, which is another thing. If you've got all these little kids peeing with all their germy hands and snotty noses in a pool that's not chlorinated, that right there is going to cause fish to catch diseases and also make a bunch of little kids sick. I would really like to know how many goldfish actually survived through all of that. There's a lot of things that they could have done to make that a fun event that didn't jeopardize not only the fish, but the children as well. Yes, Buck County Aquarium Society drove 8 hours. They sure did. Thanks, Mad Fish Diva. Yep, and then had to sit all the way out there by the road, and nobody was going to go out there. And they even brought um, the Jumpstart beneficial bacteria. So the reason it was a danger is because apparently somebody from PETA called and made threats. So that was what everybody was trying to avoid. But according to the Ohio animal abuse policy, fish do not qualify under the animal abuse laws. So, yeah, I thought it was kind of silly myself, but since Peter got involved and was sending threats, they did what they thought was best by roping everybody off. But yep, yep, Peter made threats. But I mean, you would have to hold a petition and change the entire animal abuse laws in Ohio to get them from doing that. And also, they raised their own fish and they said it was bait. The goldfish were bait, and they had lawyers and they figured out all the loopholes. So that's pretty much why that went down. There was a lot of fish tubers that called that was concerned. But yeah, so I mean, you know, if I was to see a vending machine with fish in it, I'm not sure what I would do if it was local. I mean, I don't have all the supplies or aquariums or a pond room to buy them all, and then that's just promoting it more. They'll just restock it. That's true, Connor. It is. And what really disturbed everybody was Haley and Rob was there trying to educate people on things like your fish is going to have ammonia burn. Here's what you can do. And fish really don't get over that. Once their gills are burned, they're burned. I'm not real sure, Dave. Like I said, that's what they were calling their fish. They were raised to be fish bait. And so then I guess it's what it boils down to is it's an event and they don't really care about the fish or the well-being of the fish or obviously the children that were in the unchlorinated pool. They just wanted to raise money and they do it every year and that's the loophole. They breed their own fish, so well, if you think about it, Rounded Rob, when we ship fish, they can stay in those bags for days. So I would assume that in the vending machines, they are in the breather bags and they get changed out every few days. That would be my assumption. No aquarium thoughts. The kids were actually catching the goldfish to do with as they please. They had to catch them by hand. So, catching a fish by hand, you rub the slime coat off of the fish, which causes the fish to, it weakens their immune system. The slime coat is what keeps them healthy. So, it makes them susceptible for disease. And then all the different kids' germs being in there on top of that. But they if that was their original goal was for the kids to catch the fish to then go fishing at the lake, that might have been a little different and they didn't advertise it as that. And I don't think anybody actually brought fishing poles to then go fishing in the lake. No, they did not catch it with the containers. Even after all the complaining on how it was going to hurt the fish, not only to be in the chlorinated pool that had no beneficial bacteria, but for children to be stomping on them and catching them and stuff like that with their hands, they still did not use containers or nets. They had to use their hands. You're right. There's no telling how many of those fish just die being in the vending machines. They probably don't change the air in the bags. Of course, then again, with them being in the bait shops, I'm not sure how quick those fish sell. I mean, they may be selling out so good that, who knows? Some of the local people may put two and two together and go, hey, if I go buy this Oscar that's 2 inches for $1, I can feed him up, fatten him up, and turn around and sell him for 17. I mean, who knows? Yeah. Yeah, I could see where it would be illegal to fish with live fish unless it's fish that's indigenous to that area anyway. Yes, you can use goldies as bait in the US. Like I said, I buy bait goldfish from bait and tackle shops to stock my pond with. So it's very legal. But it's illegal to dump them, which I don't understand that because I was just having a conversation with the bait and tackle people the other day. I was like, um, those goldfish y'all are selling for bait and tackle. If somebody doesn't know how to bait them correctly and they get off the hook, then what? And they were just like, that's not our problem. Yeah, hot dogs work really good. They sure do. And minnows, yeah, minnows work good. I like chicken liver, especially if you're gonna go catfishing. Chicken liver does a trick every time. But yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's irresponsible, and then it makes it harder for people like us who are in the hobby, enjoy the hobby, and the fish are the top interest, and they're our pets, and we want to keep them healthy. It makes people like us kind of look bad because of all these idiots out there that's doing things like that. I mean, personally, I haven't been fishing in a long time, but when I do, I use worms, crickets, and chicken liver or hot dogs, like Dave was saying. But yeah, guys, I just thought I would touch base on that and see what y'all's thoughts were about it. I kind of figured what they would be about the vending machines. But what would you do if if you were to go and find a vending machine that sold live bait because you're forced with the option of, well, if I buy all these fish to save them, all you're doing is promoting it and saying that the sales are doing good and they're just going to restock it. It's very similar to going to Walmart, which I don't think Walmart sells fish anymore, or going to your local chain stores and buying all the betas just to save the betas. All they're going to do is restock them because to them, that's a good selling item to have. Yeah. Well, you know what they say, Dave. It all only takes one rotten apple in the group to ruin the bunch. And so, I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. Well, the Walmart here quit selling fish a couple months ago. In a way, it's kind of pointless, but honestly, the best thing you can do is to not buy them, especially those little betas in the bowls. Just don't buy them. I mean, it's really sad and it sucks, but let them die. Let them die at the store. Buy from fish tubers that breed their betas. That's the only thing you can do. If a item doesn't sell and continues to do bad and they lose money, they'll quit ordering it. And that's the best thing you can do. Well, that's good. Well, Rob, it would appear that all goldfish would get eaten in the lake, but they're not. And I mean, a lot of people are saying quit dumping your fish in the lake, and the truth is maybe they're not. Maybe it's just a fish that jumped out of their hand while they were baiting a hook and it got lucky because it hid somewhere. Yeah, but that's the sad truth about it. There you go. Anna Louise is a very good beta um beta girl. So is there's another one also. There's a couple that breed betas, and I mean that's the only thing you can do is just stop buying them from the stores altogether. That's the only way to get the beta fish out of the little bowls. Yeah, fry do survive in the wild. And a lot of goldfish are that bronze color. And when they're not in light, they will change color. Um, Mostly they'll go from the bronze to the gold and not back to the bronze. But if they're already bronze and they get put in a lake, they're more than likely not going to turn gold. So they're not going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I mean, that's really all we can do is just stop promoting it. Yeah, goldfish do breed like rabbits. That's what the problem is. I mean, I saw a video, what was it? Corey from Aquarium Co-op posted a picture. He was on another vacation and he actually showed a picture where they had cooked a common pleco. I mean, we're having such problems with those invading Florida waters. Why not start cooking them and selling them? I mean, those fish are very edible. I wouldn't leave the head on it like that. Yeah, Dave, it was Peru. And but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have left the head on it like that or anything, but nobody want to eat their pet. They had discus. Yeah. Well, I've seen articles and videos where, people eat all kind of stuff. Well, I'm pretty sure they are. They're fish. They probably got a bunch of bones in them, but I would assume that they would be really good fried. I mean, they are in the catfish family. Fry them up, make some cheese grits and hush puppies with them. Yeah. Well, all it takes is two goldfish, and if you got a male and a female, then you got millions in no time. Well, I mean, so what are you saying, Greg? You would only eat a common pleco if you were hungry enough? You wouldn't try it just to try it? Yeah. Hey, Jess Shrimp Granny. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Rounded Rob. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, go ahead and research that because I've seen 3 or 4 different areas. Oh, you don't eat fish? But I've seen 3 or 4 different videos, excuse me, not areas where people are really buying these fish out of these vending machines. Well, see, it kind of weirded me out too, Greg, because I have one that's 3 years old. And when I saw it, I was like, there's no way in hell I would eat that. But then again, I mean, it would solve the problem. Well, why don't we just start fishing for the fish that are not indigenous to the areas, the ones that are taken over? I mean, seemed like that would solve some problems there. We fish for everything else. I mean, why not round them up and package them and sell them overseas to people that do eat stuff like that on a day to day? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't necessarily have to eat one yourself, but if you were catching all these common plecos and they're running away the local wildlife that's been going back to that spot for years and years and years, and they're taking over, why not just catch all of them? There's companies out there. I mean, we overfish the seas anyway. Why not just catch things that aren't supposed to be in there? There are plenty of places that eat weird shit like that. It's sad, but they do, and it's okay because they're edible. I was just looking in my fish room, and I have wild caught uh, sunfish. They're very edible. I've started stocking my pond with them. I mean, I thought maybe it'd be cool one day to let the kids go fishing and we clean fish and eat them. Those aren't my pets. Some of the goldfish in the pond are, but not the wild caught ones that I'm stocking it with. Those are future meals. Well, see, that's Connor's. That's the problem. Everybody says we all know Florida's lost cause, then nothing gets done, and it gets worse and worse. And before you know it, I mean, we're already messing up our ecosystem. It might seem like a lost cause for one person to go out there and start catching them, but it's really not. You're really helping. And if more people did that, then, it would really help. All it would take is a couple of those big fishing boats to try to round up as many plecos as they wanted. And I mean, you'd be surprised at how quick you could really eliminate a type of fish by overfishing them. Yeah, I wish, Greg. You bring the beer and I'll catch the fish. Somebody else can cook. It will. Jess, it'll make a big difference. Well, I mean, look at how fishermen, how many fish does one boat catch any given day? I mean, one scoop at a time. That's how you deal with it, right? The iguanas, the pythons. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but being in Southwest Georgia, I've eaten snake before. I eat rattlesnake. It wasn't that bad. I don't see why iguanas and pythons wouldn't be edible. You got to start somewhere. Instead of just catching them and killing them, why not catch them and cook them? There you go, Mad Fish Diva. Throw some hush puppies in there and call it a day. Like I said, who knows? All these fish sticks that you feed your kids anyway that are processed, you don't know what's in that crap. Just start catching plecos. Let plecos be fish sticks. Nobody else would know. Not I don't think not one person would complain about that. It's junk food. Well, yeah, pleco sticks. There you go. And you could still call them fish sticks. You wouldn't even have to put cute little pictures of plecos on there to discourage people. I mean, don't they call it fish byproducts anyway on some of those packaging? You don't even have to tell them it's pleco. Half the shit you're eating in them fish sticks ain't even on the box. Plecos on a stick. Yeah, that's it, Greg. That's exactly it. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be done. It's just people don't want to because they're like, oh, it's cute little plecos. We can't do that. But in Florida, let's say, for instance, in Florida, if you catch a python, you have to kill it. If you, I don't even think you're allowed to touch the iguanas, but if you do, you can't release them. You have to kill them. See, Mad Fish Diva, there's another good idea. You can catch the pythons, iguanas, and you can make stuff with them that's very useful. And then that would solve the problem. Of course, you would still have these um, save the animal nut freaks over on the side doing their little protest that goes, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, I do have to say they are cute for one. Yes, they are. But they are destroying things that they should not. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but the way iguanas and pythons look, I would love a pair of boots and a matching belt. Yeah, that's the point, Jess. You would be saving the native animals. But if things like the plecos and the goldfish, if they keep getting out of hand, you know what it's going to end up doing? It's going to cause it to where us as fish keepers can't buy them anymore. The responsible ones are not going to be able to order them online and enjoy them in their aquariums. It's going to mess it up for everybody. So that's exactly what needs to be done with it. And then, all the people that don't like it, then they need to stop and open their eyes up and see what damage it's really causing and how it wouldn't be damaging to go catch thousands of plecos. And it can be done. Well, there you go, Jess. That is excellent. And I was going to say that, but I thought I'd wait till somebody else brought it up. You very much so can feed hungry people with it. Feed poor people with it. Yes, you can. A goldfish is a carp. I mean, they have a little bit more bones than what you would like, but they're very edible. Mad Fish Diva, I have heard things like that where they have roundup parties, I guess, where they go and catch all of them. But what did they do with the pythons? They killed them and what? Threw them away? To me, that's a waste. That is meat, and that is, you know, python skin. It's very attractive, and that back to the boots and the purses and the belts. Now you want to, you better keep that to yourself, or one of the fish freaks are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, that's abuse." Yeah, I guess they could. They could feed zoo animals snake meat. They very well could. So I mean, that's the type of things I would do with it. But well, like I said, Jess, put it in fish strips or those little fish sticks. You would never know. I mean, you don't even know what you're eating now when you get processed fish. You have no idea what you're eating. It says a little bit of what's on it, but then it says natural this or flavors this. Well, arguing on Facebook is stupid. Yeah. Just out of the Everglades and into my belly. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to eating plecos. I just don't want the head thrown down. Cut the head off and give me the rest of it, fried extra crispy so the fins are good and crunchy, because that's one of my favorite parts on a catfish is the fins. But I don't want the head. That's the only part of it that I saw from that video from Joey in Peru was or Corey from Peru was the head. That's not the part I want. But it is kind of creepy, Greg. I mean that a cooked pleco without batter on it was kind of creepy. Oh, okay, Jess. That's all that was left. Where was the bones? Shouldn't there have been like some backbones and ribs left? I've never eaten squirrel brains. I've eaten squirrel, but not brains. Well, I that's what I was hoping, Jess, is that they just left the head. But no, it's not. It's not much difference. I mean, I'll eat some squirrel, but I don't know about the brains. But I mean, people eat weird shit all over the world. It's made into a much bigger deal than it should be. Why let it get that out of control? Just fish for them. Well, I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not saying I wouldn't try them, but if you stuck it on my plate and I knew it was a little squirrel's brain, I probably would not eat it, but I'll eat the squirrel because I know the meat's good. And I've heard brains are really good. I've heard the eyes of things are really good, but I've never eat eyes. We can always package it up and sell it to the rich people. They're the ones that like that weird stuff on crackers as cargo and stuff. You worry about diseases. Well, that's why we have certain seasons. Like for instance, squirrels, you hunt squirrels in the wintertime because they get a disease that causes knots all over their arms. You check them right here and their legs whenever you hunt for them, make sure they don't have knots. And they usually don't get that until summertime. That's why you hunt for them in the winter. But yeah, after the chat, if any of y'all find any more videos or anything, go to FishTubers notifications and post them. and let me know where all the vending machines are and what kind of fish they have in them. Because, like I said, I have seen arowana, I've seen Oscars, and I've seen goldfish, and I think that's really crazy. Because if I was in a position where I was close by and I was already selling fish online, I probably would go buy all the fish out of the vending machine for real cheap and then fatten them up for a couple weeks, give them the treatments, treat them for worms and diseases, and then ship them back out for $17 a piece. I mean, the arowana, they go for a lot of money. They're what, two, three, $400? And I'm not even talking about the Asian ones. They're illegal here in the States. Yes, Connor. People do get pissed about eating dogs and cats. And I saw on the news where a man that looked to be very hungry in a poor neighborhood, he cooked his bulldog. He was boiling the bulldog's ribs and they come and arrested him for it. He was going to eat it. Okay, that's an animal. You go to China and there ain't no telling anybody eat Chinese food. You tell me what's on that stick. Okay? Because it ain't ever the same shape and they don't always taste the same. And I've been told it's chicken, it ain't. It ain't pork either. Oh, a quick tour of where I am? Yeah, sure. I can do that. All right. So over here we have an antique machine. I make books and stuff on that. This is a digital printer. It's a Oki C931E. Over here we have the Canon Pro 4000. And then right here we have the Zante Impressia. This is one of my favorite machines. And then, of course, back here we have what we call the production room. It's a mess, but over here, this is a pattern. It's where we make notebooks. We have the perf machine, where you perf stuff on it. Over here is the cutter. This machine's always fun. You cut your arm off with this one. That's the cutter. We have the shrink wrap machine. And then we have what we call Old Faithful over here. This is an offset press. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and the jogger. You got to see the jogger. And I might as well do the hole punch too. That's where all the paper gets jogged on. And then here's our drill. It's where we drill holes in the paper. And then, of course, this little thing right here is an automatic stapler. That's fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all the machines that I use. Not always daily, but I have used them all in one day before. Oh, come on. I'll show y'all where the paper's at. It's back here. It's going to get dark till I turn the light on. This is where the boogeyman stays. Whoa, all right, here's the paper room. That's where we keep all of our paper. And that right there, this is the folder where we fold stuff. This room used to be the negative room. That old press that still runs. When I first started working here 5 years ago, we burned plates. This is the plate burner right here. And our other machine that used to sit right there on the table that helped put chemicals on the plate so that the image would stick and the press would pick it up. I don't know if we have any more negatives left. Yeah, we do. So here you go. Here's MSA. If we wanted to print envelopes, we would have a negative. And then we would go, I'm going to hurry up and put it back because they're no use to us, but they're light sensitive. This room was dark. we would put them on the plate burner right there, and then we would burn them, and we would take them over here, and the machine that was here had a solution for the metal plates. We'd run it through, and it would coat it. But now we order poly plates, and I print the plates on the digital equipment. I didn't really care for the press too much. I had to coordinate the clothes that I was going to wear for what color we were printing, because it's a one color press with a T head, and it hated me and I hated it. And so when time came that not this Okie, but we had a different Okie data, it broke. We were given the Zonte to sample. I talked the salesman into buying it, and then he bought that one. Then he got the Canon. That's just an old school copier. And so that's how we do it now. All right, let's see, where was that? Okay, quick tour. Our country, so why are we so concerned with it? Well, you know what, Connor? The thing about that is, let's just say China, for instance. The United States made all these different laws to where we couldn't pollute the air anymore, so all our factories went over to China. China's polluting the air. It's eating up the atmosphere. It's hot. It's making the water hot. The water getting hot is killing the corals. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's your country or not. It still affects you one way or the other. All right, let's see. Jess Shrimp Granny, a place got shut down for using muskrat for chicken and dogs for beef. Well, you know what, Jess? Yeah, maybe they should have just said it was dog. I don't want anything I keep as a pet besides chicken in the future, maybe ham. Well, you know, that's the sad truth about it. The only other thing to do, Jess, is to become a vegetarian. Well, Connor, here's the thing. When you're using the cutter, it takes both hands. You have to put your foot on a clamp, and you have to put both hands under the thing and push up at the same time to get the blade to come down. So the only way you can cut your hand off is if somebody forces your arm under there while somebody else pushes in both of the safeties. Hey, learning to fish keep. How are you doing? But yeah, so there you go, everybody. And I hope that was good enough for you, Greg. You got your tour. And of course, did I forget? There's the two computers that run all of these digital machines. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure, Jess, that I would be really pissed if somebody caught my dog and turned it into food and then tried to sell it to me as chicken or beef. That would really make me mad as well. Okay, that's cool. Learning to fish keep. Can't wait to see that. Oh, what's the matter? You can't do a tour at your job? Well, you know what they say, when the boss is away, the cat will play. My boss left it a little before lunch. And I got all my stuff done, so. And I doubt highly he's on YouTube right now watching my channel. Because my phone would be ringing telling me to clock out and leave if he was. But I'm waiting on a customer, so I mean, I'm working. I'm waiting on United Distributors to come pick up some stuff. So I mean, technically I am. Ah, no cameras allowed. That sounds top secret. Navy submarine base. Hey, Greg, there's no cameras allowed, but I bet the facility has cameras, right? Oh, learning to fish keep. My pond's doing pretty good. I mean, it's got muck and all kind of natural stuff in the bottom, like normal, and it's been raining. The fish is a natural pond color. It's not super clear. Matter of fact, today when I get home, I think I'm going to drain it halfway just so I can get in there and pull the homemade filter out again so I can clean it. It seems like I've been having to do that once a month, and I shouldn't. My DIY filter is not as good as I'd like it to be. I'm sure it would be perfect for a smaller pond, but for my pond, it's just not doing what I want it to. So, Greg, yeah, I've got family in the military. Hey, Chewy, thanks for showing up. So tell me, Greg, what do they do? What do y'all do when you're out there on the ship for months and months at a time? I mean, how many people's been pushed overboard because the whole cruise just had enough with them, right? Just get off. Don't y'all have a room or restraints or something for people who start losing their mind when you're at sea and just restrain them or tie them up? I would too, Connor. I would very much go stir crazy. I mean, I don't swim very well. I sink. I'm heavy. I can swim, but it's like flying an airplane. I've never been in one. I don't plan on it because I can't fly. So the brig, is that what it's called? The brig. Yeah. There you go. I'm just gonna add you as a moderator, Madfish, because you seem to know it. You got everything on cue here, and I need all the help I can get sometimes. But don't we all? Let's see. Been 10 years since I retired, but submarine service has a vetting to keep only crazy people on subs. So we're surrounded by people. so, so instead of taking a test to make sure you're not crazy, you got to take a test to make sure you're a certain level crazy. So when crazies get crazy, y'all know how to handle each other, right? That's hilarious, y'all. But yeah, I'm going on an hour now, guys. Yeah, exactly. I think about 6.5 more minutes and we're gonna call it a day. So what's everybody got planned coming up? Yeah. Yep. You know what? I figured I need a couple. I need a couple mods. That way when I start talking about my videos, it's gonna be up to you guys to pull them up on screen. How about that? Because nobody else can. They can't advertise. So, for instance, if I start talking about a video that I made, you'll have to go ahead and pull it up. What kind of fish meds do you need? That's something else too, guys. In Canada, you can't buy fish meds anymore. You have to take your fish to a vet and get a prescription for them. Isn't that crazy? I saw that on DIY Joey. Oh yeah, kick it. Well, you know what, Jess? When I get ick, I've gotten ick a couple times. I have a heater. I put the heater in there, and yeah, Greg, you should watch the King of DIY Joey. He went and bought a buttload of meds, and so now everybody calls him. But so what I do with ick is I turn the temperature up to about 80 degrees, and I add a little bit of salt and do water changes because the salt and the heat, it doesn't kill the ick, but it makes the ick life cycle and hurry up and live its life cycle, and then it falls off the fish. And then you do gravel vacs regularly. I would do at least 2 water changes a week, depending on what you believe. Some people believe that beneficial bacteria live in the water colony. Some people believe it don't. I don't. I know it don't. But yeah, just do, 2 major water changes a week, or every other day do 20%, whatever your tank's used to, and the ick should go away pretty quickly. I have one of my Oscars is named Ick, as a matter of fact. And that's the reason he's named Ick, is because when I got him, he gave all the other Oscars Ick. The target practice on Labor Day weekend. Well, that sounds like fun. Yep, 82 degrees will kill the free swimming stuff. There you go. When you're trying to treat ick on your goldfish when you're like 8 years old. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, on goldfish, I kind of do use the medicine because I don't like putting my tank up to 80, 82 degrees with goldfish, because that right there alone, the goldfish don't like it. Every day I go home and I stick my feet in the pond. And if it feels cool to the touch, we're good. But if it feels warm, I turn the water hose on and flood the pond over for about 30 minutes. Yeah, when I get home, I'm going to do some water changes too. I've never been to one, but I've seen a couple dumb blondes almost take their head off with that axe throwing stuff. It looks fun. Those black bug-eyed ones. You mean the Blackmore? Yeah. And his eye exploded and he died. Oh yeah, well he got Popeye. I mean, common water changes, keeping the water clean. That'll help with that too. One is easy to eradicate. The other one came about because of fish being bred and medication. Ah, yep. See, I don't use chemicals except for water. Some, I don't know, chemistry nerd or something told me that water is a chemical. You do use chemicals, duh, H2O. But I only use water and salt. I don't really use a whole lot of chemicals to treat my fish. Yep. Everyone was good till they come around. Yep. But yeah, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. We're around in about an hour. Now, see, that's the thing, Jess. If you've already tried the heat, you've already tried the salt, and it's just not going away. You've tried consistent water changes every other day, something like that. Then sometimes you do have to use medicine. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I don't know if you're familiar with my dragon aquarium. It's a 29-gallon bow front. When I was 18 years old, I had 2 Oscars in that tank. They got this big. Okay, it was Pooh and Tang. I had Dumb and Dumber, which was 2 wild caught fish. I had Spot, which was a little snapping turtle, and I had 2 other fish for about a year. Hey, Paul, what's going on? All in this 29-gallon aquarium. Everybody did fine. Twice a week, I changed the water. I mean, I really didn't know anything about the nitrogen cycle then. All right, love you too, dear. See you at 5:30ish. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Well, now the fungus, the salt, but salt helps with that. But if you got all of those going on, then yeah, I would definitely suggest the Medicate, big time. But all right. Well, Paul, I sure do appreciate you stopping by, even though you caught the tail end. I think we covered the majority of the topic. If you want to go back and watch the first 15 minutes or so, that would be really cool. But y'all have a really cool day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And hey, y'all share it out. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.